Hello everyone, this is Watson. In this video, we're going to go and explore the transmission limitation for our Ethernet cables. Ethernet cables are very commonly seen in network setups, and the distance is limited at 100 meters because in the early development, the Ethernet cable could only transmit up to 100 meters. Modern day technology has developed, and of course, our Ethernet cables have become better and better quality. But still, since the quality has been better, our bandwidth has risen as well. This means the network speed has come up. So it's like simple math. When the bandwidth has gone up, even though our quality of the Ethernet cables has been better and the technology has been better, we still are limited at 100 meters. But don't worry, we have a lot of methods to transmit it. So in order to transmit the Ethernet cable further on, just like simply expanding our network system, we need to transmit the signal further on. There are usually two methods. One is taking a look at the signal source and boosting it up. Second is to use an extender at the middle of the transmission. Well, let's take a look at the signal source method first. So a signal source method is using something what we call a long distance PoE switch. A long distance PoE switch has a special chipset which can boost the signal and transmit it further on. If we use the booster like this, we can transmit 250 meters without any other devices. But if we want to go to 800 meters, we will need one of these adapters on the other end of the 800 meter Ethernet cable. So in short terms, with a long distance PoE switch, we can either reach 250 meters with just an Ethernet cable, or we can reach 800 meters with an Ethernet cable plus an adapter. This is because it has a special chipset which can enhance the transmitted signal. But usually in this method, we're going to suffer from a very low bandwidth because when we go reach 250 meters, our bandwidth will drop very seriously. And usually that's the network speed, so it's not really worth it because there's a great sacrifice. This is also the reason why I recommend to use a PoE extender, which is the method of expanding the transmission during this whole transmission. So a PoE extender is used after we connect our whole network system. We will, in a network system, especially a PoE network system, we have a power sourcing equipment and a power device. A PoE switch will provide power and data with one Ethernet cable. And that Ethernet cable, we can use a PoE extender to repeat the PoE signal transmitted, and it will go for another 100 meters. And usually, we have a lot of ways to do it. So there are really two common PoE extenders. One is the one input, one output PoE extender, and the other is the one input, two output PoE extender. These two both can provide us with a 30 watts of power output, and they are both outdoor versions, which means they're waterproof, very good for direct burial. And let's now talk about the difference. The one input, one output PoE extender doesn't have a high bandwidth. It's usually 100 megabits per second, so it's really good for basic short distance expansions. But when we want to go for more devices or longer extensions, we can choose one input, two output. The one input, two output PoE extender has a metal casing, which means it's rated at least IPC7 waterproof. It can also handle the anti-corruption, and also it has up to 1,000 megabits per second bandwidth. There is also indicators on the top surface here to let us easily monitor the connection status. So these are the two basic extenders we have. So usually we can daisy chain these, and this one will reach 300 meters when we daisy chain it. So usually we can daisy chain a one input, one output and reach 300 meters. And we can daisy chain the one input, two output to reach 500 meters. But these two methods are really difficult to keep maintenance because we have to extend it every 100 meters, so we're going to have multiple devices in the field when we extend the network system. Now I'm going to show you a very special trick. We're going to take two one input, one output PoE extenders and face the input ports towards each other. So you can see that there are input and output ports on the one input, one output PoE extenders. We're going to face the input ports towards each other. In this case, we're going to create a very long distance extended channel between these two extenders. So when we face the two input ports towards each other, we can get 300 meters of extension in the middle. So then we will have a total of 500 because we have 100 meters on both ends and 300 meters in the middle. Simple math, 500. And the connection is really easy. You just have to memorize to face the two input ports towards each other. In that case, this connection is going to work perfectly. Let me show you. So if it's not going to work perfectly, when we face the two input ports together, it should not be able to connect our network together. So in this case, I'm going to face the two input ports together. And then I'm going to use one end to connect to our PoE switch. So one end to our PoE switch. The other end to our PTZ camera. So if the power goes through, our PTZ camera should turn on and do the self-diagnosis. Now the power has gone through, it's now doing the self-diagnosis. We're just going to wait shortly and see if we have an image on the screen. Alright, now we have an image on the screen right here. You can see that this is a live video feed. I'm waving my hand in front of the camera. So this means, yeah, this extension method of using two input ports facing towards each other works. We call this the 300 meter extension kit. It comes with two 1 input, 1 output PoE extenders. Alright, that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys have any more questions about extending our network, feel free to leave them at the section below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.